I'm here today with Lyle Ward, who's head of the research for the restoration of Car 23. Lyle, I was wondering if you could give me some information about the history of Car 23 to the point where it's come here to Selkirk College.
Well, so far, since 1982, November to be exact, we picked the car up from its 30-year resting place at Nisukan Road on the North Shore. When we got it, there was a 3-inch floor of concrete had been poured throughout the car, which had to be jackhammered out. And the one side of the car on my left here was completely gone from the windowsills down. The wood had rotted away as this side of the car was up against a bank, and the snow throughout the years and the water running down the bank had completely rotted this one side. During the first stage of restoration, the ribs were replaced, some of the vital floor gridding was replaced, and sheet steel along each side was replaced for better reinforcement. The end vestibule was taken off for ease of getting in and out of the car for the major work that had to be done.
I noticed that some of the top of the vestibule there is still the original wood.
Right, the ceiling of the car seems to have stood up quite well. The main ceiling plus the ends on either vestibule were in excellent condition, just having to be scraped down and revarnished. The roofing material had to be changed, but other than that, the whole top section is original.
I can see. Now you pointed out the windows. Are these the original windows that are now?
No, every window in this streetcar has got a brand new window framing and new glass and new hinges on the top windows for ventilating.
Right.
And all the windows are new. They've gone through probably 3 designs of windows since the car was new. These don't open for safety's sake. In the old days they would slide up and kids could fall out and such, but we decided to put a safety factor into this one.
Right. Now the car came to Nelson in 1926, am I right?
Very close to that. It was built in 1906 and used for approximately 20 years in Cleveland first, and then Nelson bought it, and it continued here until 1949 when the whole streetcar system was replaced by the gas buses.
That's right, I see. Well, so what sort of work, I've noticed that you've done quite a lot of work since last February when we last came here. I was wondering how much further do you have to go before it's actually, you can put it on the track?
Well, the outside needs another coat of paint and a few exterior finishes. The interior here needs a hardwood floor put in. We have to put a cherry veneer ceiling in, and the advertising board backing on each side here on this curved section.
Right.
And the installation of the seats.
Now, I understand that you are at the moment selling the seats to raise money for the restoration.
Right. The cost of the seats to have new side frames cast, new wood, new brass parts is approximately $300 per seat, and we are approaching local businesses, service organizations, and local people to donate $300 each toward a seat, which would have a brass plaque with their name in memory of or whatever. And so far we've had good response on this, and there is a total of 16 seats needed, and we're hoping for a good response toward donations.
Right, I see. I understand that you've ordered the trucks for this streetcar from Australia. It seems you had to go all over the world to get parts. Is it still quite hard to find parts for this car?
Well, not particularly for this car, but there is a fair amount of streetcars in North America, but most museums and private organizations want the parts for themselves, and they're not really willing to part with some of the harder to find parts like the running gear and the brakes and the controllers. So we found a source in Australia that would sell us what we needed, and it is very similar to what belongs under this car.
Oh, I see, and that's being shipped fairly soon.
Hopefully, so we can get this stage of restoration, the final stage of restoration, finished this summer.
I see. So once you've restored the car, what sort of plans are you looking at?
Well, since we started the car in November '82, our end goal was to see it running on the streets of Nelson somewhere, whether it be through Main Street or around the town somewhere. We did not want to build it as a cement-mounted museum. It had a practical use right from the beginning, we thought.
Oh, I see. How long is this car?
Roughly 44 feet. The interior is about 30 feet with the vestibules on each end. It would seat lawfully 44 people, but according to some of the motormen that rode it originally, there would be over 100 after a hockey game or a picnic at the park. And at 100, they were literally hanging off the sides of the car.
I would see. Now, this is the rear of the car, and this is the front. This car originally ran both ways, didn't it?
From brand new in 1906, there was controls at either end, but in 1908, there was a major overhaul, and it was converted to one-end use, driving only. And at that time, it was converted so there was just two doors on the one side, and the other sides were blanked out.
I see. Well, they've done a very beautiful job. Have you had to replace most of the wood for structural reasons, or is it just because it had rotted?
Well, the majority of it, especially on the left side here, was very rotten. Good for patterns yet. The floor, with having that cement on it, had pretty well rotted through. And the front end had been in various accidents before it came to Nelson, and we found all sorts of different types of wood and sizes of wood, so we knew it had been rebuilt quite often, so we completely changed it. But we needed to put the strength into the car to make it operable again for means of having it stable. Otherwise, as a museum piece, it could sit here with very little work having been done to it, just cosmetic finishing.
Right.
But to make it movable, everything had to withstand twisting and movement again. So we had to replace a lot of it for that reason.
It's the safety standards that exist now. It's up to date, isn't it?
Yes. The only thing that has to be passed is the electrical and the wheel units in conjunction with the trackage and such. There's transportation regulations involved there.
I see. Do you feel that it would be the streetcar running in Nelson would be a major tourist attraction for Nelson in its future?
Yes, combined with other things, the streetcar can make a very attractive attraction for Nelson. People came in the late 40s from all over the states just to ride and document the system, and at that time streetcars were still in vogue in a lot of cities, although buses were taking over by then, but it was unique then, and now if we get it onto the street, it'll be the only one in Canada west of Toronto that's running on city streets. Others are in various trolley parks and such.
Yes, yeah. Okay. I want to thank you very much, Lyle, for coming today and talking to me about some of the restoration. The car looks very beautiful, and I hope to see it soon on the streets of Nelson.
Well, we hope by 86 or 87 that you will be able to come back and ride on it.
Thank you.